Welcome to Two Humans Talking, the podcast where we talk about what it actually takes to thrive in today's modern, fast-paced world. I'm your host, Tiffany Simms, and today's episode of Two Humans Talking is brought to you by the Modern Women's Society. The Modern Women's Society is the ultimate space for high-achieving women, the leaders, the community builders, and the movement makers to learn how to rise to their next level without the burnout, guilt, shame, and exhaustion that our traditional success playbooks left us with. If you're interested in joining the movement, be sure to click the link below. But today we are going to be chatting with Ani, who is just light. She is love. She wants to make sure that you are not just moving through this world in this chronic numbing pain and help us move through that. And so, Ani, welcome to the show. I'm so excited to chat with you today.
Hey, Tiffany. Hey, everyone. So happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me here. It's an honor.
Yes, ma'am. So you have been going all day. So let's talk for a second. Who are you? Where are you from? And what makes you sparkle in this world?
Well, the most important part to start with, I'm single and available. Let's just get that out of
Hey,
the
calling it in.
So, my name is Ani, and I am known as the body pain fixer. For 3 decades, I have been creating personalized pain relief solutions for my clients. Would it be from professional athletes to Hollywood elites to everyday folks to high performing women that want to live pain free because they're wearing so many hats that they have to be able to do them all without thinking, oh my God, my back hurts, my neck hurts. I just don't have the energy to do anything, but I have to do it because nobody cares that I don't have the energy or I'm in pain to do it.
So what
To
does
share
stop for
now, I
me?
share my proven methods that I accumulated from my 30 years of expertise. And I love to teach the self-help techniques and what you can do the shortest time with the lasting results to stay pain-free and to maintain the quality of your life as we age. A couple of days ago was my birthday. I turned 56.
Congratulations.
And I hear, thank you. I hear from so many women, they're like, Ani, as soon as I turn 40 or as soon as I turn 50, I woke up the next day and I have pain here and I have pain there. What the heck? You know? And it's
Okay,
like,
let's talk about that because that is real. And I thought I thought old people were just being old and I thought they were lazy and I thought they hadn't been taking care of themselves. But I am a woman who has taken really good care of herself, pays attention to her inflammatory foods, moves her body with joy and love to stay active because I wanted to age well. And it was like I turned 40 and I woke up at 40 and day one and all of a sudden I was like, what the hell is this? And my mom was like, I told you. And I was like, I really thought you guys were exaggerating because you hadn't been taking care of yourselves. What the crap is this magic? Like,
yeah, it is. And it's few things. First of all, in our 20s, teens, I was a professional athlete. We've done stuff that we stay out until 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, either drinking or whatever. And the next day, we can easily get up and do like nothing happened. Once you hit
you
your
don't know you feel like
40s,
crap. You just go.
exactly. But once you hit your 40s, so those 20, 30 years that your body has endured all that abuse, at one point, your body's going to just throw in a towel and say, okay, now you got to pay attention to me. And that's one of the reasons in our 40s, 50s, we're like, what the crap just happened? Why can't jump off my bed and do whatever I can do? It takes me longer to get going. The other thing, us women,
I gotta
in
warm my
our,
feet up.
yeah,
Who knew
in,
that was a thing?
in our 40s, 50s, the hormonal changes, we go through perimenopause, menopause, which I love, love, love menopause because I was so lucky. It was the easy transition, except for a weight gain. It was the easiest transition ever. And I'm loving being on the other side of it.
Mm.
But going through that hormonal changes, it wreaks havoc on your body. Nobody tells you that, okay, that estrogen that we carry around, that's protecting us from so many things. That once that goes down, we're like joint pain, knee pain, back pain, all that comes like with vengeance. So yeah, those things just start happening, and then you're like, okay, where do I start?
Where do we start?
And us busy women, you're like, I don't have time to do all that stuff. I don't have time to every 3 months or 4 months to do my hormone test just to see where my hormones are, or with the lifestyle changes I'm making, am I doing the right stuff that I have to take all this, either, I don't know, you do a blood test or a saliva test or a dry urine test for hormones. Like, where do you start?
Are you a hormone panel advocate, or do you think they're like not
I
necessary?
don't like, when it comes to hormone testing, my favorite is saliva because it's less expensive and more accurate than blood test.
Mm-hmm.
Because the blood hormone test, it's a protein bound hormones, mostly you're testing. With the saliva, it's much easier. And then my ultimate, the best one is Dutch test, DUTCH, which is a dry urine test where you do like 5 days at home in a privacy of your own home. You're peeing on a strip, let it dry, put it in a thing, send it to the lab. You get this tons of information from all the hormones, all the metabolites, that gives you this like a extended view of your hormones, what's going on in your body.
Yeah. I love that. For me, where I stand, I used to spend a lot of time helping people heal their relationship with food and exercise. And a lot of people in that world, want to lose weight. And at this age range and in this current society, hormones are like all the rage. Like it is the fad to go get your hormones checked and to be on some kind of like hormone supplement. And I am such an advocate for before you get a hormone panel, spend 90 days really taking care of yourself, both physically and nutritionally, so that when you get the hormone panel, it's actually looking at where your body is actually deficient in the gaps that it needs help with, rather than this panel feedback that's just like completely skewed because you hadn't really been taking care of yourself. So your body wasn't in its natural state anyway. It was just surviving. And so I was
Mhm.
just curious what
Well,
your thoughts
it
are.
varies. I'm not a huge proponent of you have to do, like I said, I don't want you to go testing every 3 months or so, you know, but I would like for like I just had my last time I had my hormone tested saliva was 2022. And then I just had mine done because I'm having such hard time losing weight. I wanted to see, and I'm doing like I'm not exercising as I was used to. I was a runner, heavy weight lifter, trail racer. When I was going through my perimenopause, I stopped all of that. I just lost all the will of exercising. So but I still eat extremely healthy, all organic. I don't use any chemical, personal care products, household cleaning, makeup, everything is organic. But
See, and
surprisingly, when I just got 2 weeks ago, I got my hormone panel, like saliva test done. My testosterone is high and my one of my E1 estrogen is high. And both of those are from exogenous toxins like hormones. And I'm like, I'm using everything organic. Like I can't go any more organic than this. Like everything. Like where is my body getting the exogenous hormones? And I know genetically my body does my detoxification is very slow genetically. My body does not detox properly. So I have to like help with it. So I'm like, oh, I need to do a detox. I haven't done detox cleans in years. So now, well, not this Friday because my nephew turns 21. I know I'm going to be drinking. But starting next Monday, I'll be doing a 30-day gentle cleanse, gentle detox, just to give that little kick for my face to detox, saying, okay, you need to do a little better job than you're doing now.
Yeah. You know what I love about this conversation is that it's not, it's about the like knowing yourself, paying attention. Where are you really? So that you know when you go to get things like a hormone panel done, whether it's saliva, blood, urine, that you know what the results are telling you because you know where you're starting. And I think that has been my biggest gripe. Like if you haven't been taking care of yourself for 10 years and you go get a hormone panel because your hormones are, well, obviously your
No,
hormones are out of whack. Like your body is in
yeah,
no way, shape, or form operating the way it was supposed to. Like we're supposed to help supplement our body, not override our body.
I totally agree. And I love what you said because I'm a huge, you know, there are some functional medicine doctors that you go to, and their first thing is, let's run like $2,000 worth of tests. I'm like, what the heck? No. Let's get the basics, the foundation. Let's get you on a healthy lifestyle if you haven't been on.
Yes.
And another thing, for some people, I love when I ask my clients, take me through your 1 day, average day of eating. What you eat when you get up, lunch, dinner, whatever, snacks. I said, don't pick the best day or the worst day, just the average. And it's I'm sure you've seen it, you've noticed it with the people that you work with, is what some people consider healthy. There is healthy and there is healthy. Years ago, I used to have a client. I don't work with people like losing weight because that's just not my thing. I want you to get healthy. My focus is health, not losing weight, because like you said, there are so many skinny fat people, unhealthy people walking around. So I used to have this client that started seeing me. Her biggest thing was she was drinking a lot of Coke. So, and I said, let's just have you go down only one Coke a day. She's like, okay, I think I can do that. So she comes into her appointment in my clinic. She walks in with a 32-ounce supersized. I'm like, what is that? She goes, that's my one Coke a day. I almost was gonna like die. I didn't know to laugh and to say, are you serious? How many of these did you drink before that
Without
now
being
you're down
judgmental,
to
but just curious.
132 ounce? I couldn't believe it.
But it's true. It's that, and we started talking about pain, and now that we're talking about nutrition, like it is so important. And this is not like if you've tried everything, don't go get help. This is not that conversation. But it's like, no, be honest and really know where you're starting. For me, recently, I literally turned 40 like 6 months ago. And I have noticed that in the evenings around 6:30, I have been getting like very uncomfortable pains in my knees. And so I was starting to I'm real big on being a scientist of myself, of my own life, And I was like, what am I eating in the evenings that I'm not
Mhm.
eating the rest of the day that like could be triggering like inflammation or swelling or something? And the only thing that I had changed, which I have eaten my whole life, is I have had brown rice with dinner. And so
Hmm.
I stopped. I was like, well, let's play with this. Let's see what happens. And heck if my knee pain hasn't gone away. And it's just like, okay. And it's not because someone told me it was bad. It's not because like there's this study, but it was like just going back to that, like knowing where you're starting
Yeah.
and like testing things out for yourself. What do you find that like when people are complaining as they're aging about that chronic doesn't go away, always there pain? Like where does that conversation really truly start? And like how do we move through that so we can live pain free?
Mhm. So, like I said, the only reason you come to see me when you have body pain. Otherwise, there is no reason. Like I won't see a client if they don't have pain. And going through the Q&As of, okay, when did it start? What was the trigger? Do you know what was the trigger? And sometimes they're like, I don't know. I haven't done anything different. It just started. And then we kind of start, peeling the layers out of like an onion, peeling an onion and saying, okay, when you have a chronic pain, most likely it's inflammation. What is it you're doing? And this is where it starts to be like, oh my God, I didn't even know that was a thing. Like nobody ever told me is histamine. No one tells you that histamine, and you could sometimes have, especially now we're getting into spring, is the seasonal allergies. Things slowly starts blooming, even though I'm in Los Angeles and it's already 77 degrees at 11:30 in the morning. And later it's going to be like 80, 84 degrees Fahrenheit. We're like getting into summer already. But at the certain parts of the world, the country where they're going to start going through spring, things starts blooming, and the histamine, the pollen, that if you're sensitive to it can cause, or even if you have food sensitivities, the histamine is high. Well, some of you may be staying away, or taking antihistamine medications over the counter, or depending on the level. But and then you go eat these foods, certain foods that you think, I'm eating healthy. I'm eating spinach, I'm eating avocados and strawberries and bananas. I'm eating sauerkraut because it has the prebiotic. It's good for my gut. Guess what? All those are either high in histamine or they trigger histamine release. So then what you're doing is like putting just fuel to your fire. You're going through this vicious cycle of you're taking antihistamine, but and then you go eat avocado and spinach salad because it's so healthy. Well, they're both very high in histamine.
Interesting.
Yeah, so you have to know these things to say, okay, I'm not telling you not to eat these foods, but when your allergy is at the high level, when it's aggravated for 2, 3 weeks, you need to stay away from those foods completely. Anything fermented, it's like a whole list. And you may not be sensitive to all of them, but like you were saying, you tried the brown rice and that was the thing for you. Try it and see what's going to work for you.
Yeah.
But you need
I'm a
to
big
know
advocate for becoming the scientist of your own life because
because we're all unique. Just
yes.
earlier, I was telling the other Zoom, as humans, we share 99.9% of the same DNA. But that 0.1% that is different, that's what makes us unique. That's why, I can run 10, 15 miles and not lose weight, and you stop drinking, full fat milk, and a week later you drop 10 pounds. I'm like, what the heck?
Yes.
We
Yes.
need to know our
My friend.
uniqueness and embrace that.
Yes.
Not say, oh, you know what, Tiffany, we're going to go, we're going to eat the same thing, we're going to exercise, you're going to be my buddy, my accountability partner, which is great. But what I do and what you do has to be specific for us. We can't just both say your results are going to be completely different than from mine.
I love that you say that. And it's unique in so many more ways than just what we're going to eat because we
Yeah.
each have different goals. We have different reasons for wanting to do things, different preferences. We are different people. And and also like it's one of what you were saying is like the number one reason why wives get so frustrated with their husbands. They eat the same thing and a husband loses 25 pounds in a week while drinking beer. And she has literally like is living off of like a celery stick. And she's like, I gained 5 pounds. WTF, mate. Right? Because different bodies, different usages, different
Yeah.
needs, expenditures. But then the other part of that is like, everyone wants to know, like, well, what does the science say? What does the research show? As someone who has multiple degrees in the sciences, I have a background in biology, biochemistry. I've worked at the National Institute of Health and Johns Hopkins. I was a nuclear chemist for 12 years. Like, I am a science girly. All science is asking a question and then creating experiments with different inputs and outputs and observing what happens. And then you take that data that you observed and you make a conclusion.
Yep.
So like we want to like lean, what does the science say? And it's like all the science is doing is explaining and showing what the data they collected. It didn't change anything. So like what just do that for yourself and find people like Ani who can help you in the areas that you're struggling in so that you can figure out what the right blueprint for yourself is and then learn the skills in order to do that for yourself multiple times over throughout life.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the reasons I love the genetic testing and analysis. When the clients come and, they've seen different doctors, they've tried different things, and it's still not working, or their pain keeps coming back. That's where I say, okay, you know what? Instead of you seeing another doctor, doing another test and stuff, let's do genetic testing. Let's see how genetically your body responds to your environment, the foods you eat, the exercises you do. And yes, your genetics is not your destiny, but knowing how foundationally how your body responds to your environment, then we can personalize, create dietary suggestions, solutions that is unique only to you. Like for me, a lot of times people will say, oh, my friend, whatever she has body pain, if she does a little bit of CBD gummies with the tiny amount of THC, amazing, very relaxing. Oh my God. I cannot genetically, my body cannot handle that. I found out the hard way. I got contact high from a client smoking pot. I went into complete paranoia for like 45 minutes, having conversation with myself, freaking out.
That's funny.
Oh, I cannot touch that stuff.
I
But
think I can't stand the smell or the like taste, even gummies, like they taste the way they smell. It smells, and
yeah,
my body repulses it. So I don't know how I would be. I just can't even ingest it. It's
yeah,
gross.
but I know that like genetically, my body breaks down neurotransmitters very slowly. So I cannot take anything that stimulates the serotonin in my body because that may put me into anxiety and depression because
Isn't
it lingers in my system longer.
Oh
For
my God.
some people, it breaks it down really fast. The people that you see, they go for the next high, the next, like they love the parachute jumping, or they go for whatever, because they're looking for that next reward, the next high.
Yeah.
Those people, their body breaks down the neurotransmitters really fast. Mine is opposite. It's extremely slow. So I have to be careful. Like you don't want to be in either spectrum. You want to be in a happy medium.
That is
But
so cool.
knowing that, then, like you said, the science, but knowing how your body responds to things, then you can say, like, I was at this new supplement company and they sent some samples for me to try, and they're like, oh, and this is the calm thing, you can take it, increases your serotonin. I'm like, yeah, I cannot touch. I'm not even going to try that thing.
You're
I
like,
don't
that is
want it. I
me.
don't need it.
I love that. This is the first time I've heard about genetic testing from this angle, and I really like the way that you talked about it. Where do you go to get genetic
I
testing done?
use 3x4 Genetics company, like a 3x4 Genetics, the company. And the reason I love them because they only use genes that has been laboratory studied over and over and over. Also, it's genes that, let's say, if you have certain predispositions, genetic variants, as a practitioner, with the lifestyle changes, I can make sure that those genes will never turn on. Or if they're turned on, we can turn it off with the lifestyle changes. So they don't check genes that can cause diseases that you can do anything about it. There are specific companies for that. There are very specific companies. Let's say genetically, there are families that have 6 fingers. That's a genetic thing. There's nothing you can do about it. Or there is a family, where they all have the, let's say, the BRCA gene, with the breast cancer. Well, interestingly, 23andMe, before I think they're going through bankruptcy, they were testing BRCA gene, but if I'm not mistaken, they're like 23 or 25 variants. Well, they were testing, I think, only 3 variants of it, and most of them specific to Ashkenazi Jews. Well, if
Oh,
you're not an Ashkenazi Jew and you get that test done and you get it that, oh, you're fine, you don't have it, or you're at high risk, how accurate is that? So knowing where to go and what test to do, like if your audience will go, I think it's on my website. If not, I can put it in there in my genetics page. I just made some changes to my website. There is a 6 questionnaire that I put in there for you to ask, or if you go into my website genetics page, there are companies I think I list for what, why use these companies and for what to use these companies for. What is it you're looking for to get answers to? But if you're looking at what we were just talking about, what's the foundationally my genetics says about my body, how it reacts to the foods I eat, the drinks or the activities I do, or how it responds to stress. And what can I do about it? I love the 3X for genetics.
that's really, really cool. I'm
Yeah,
gonna look into that.
it's really cool. It puts into the pathways. So it's really easy. And, like some doctors you go to and they do genetic testing only for ApoE gene. ApoE, if you have like a E2, E4, or E3, E4, or E4, E4 variant, it's a higher potential for Alzheimer's disease. So some doctors do only that test. Well, that doesn't tell you the whole story.
Yeah.
And if you look into the science of that, actually, if you have E2, E4, it has a lot of like benefits. Your body responds to lifestyle changes much faster. Yes, you may have a higher potential for like Alzheimer's, but on the other hand, with the lifestyle changes you make, your body responds to it much better, much faster.
This has been so cool. I'm curious. I can see in your eyes and the way you talk about it. Like you have done so much research. You are so in this world. What started your curiosity around like chronic pain and helping people like get rid of the pain? Like, was it from your own, like you were learning to save
No,
yourself? Like, where did it come from?
that's what a lot of times people think of. Oh, because a lot of practitioners get into this industry because of their personal stories, like what they went through. Mine, I'm very grateful to say that it wasn't it. My college, my bachelor's is in kinesiology, which I finished back home in former Soviet Union, where I also studied massage, medical massage, which it was very science-based, not the massage like, oh, let me rub you down and relaxing. No, it was very science-based medical massage. So that was like my foundation. On top of it, I played volleyball for Armenian national team for 5 years. So I was a professional athlete and getting injured and stuff. So and then when my family, we moved to US, I reinstated my diploma here. And the main reason my focus was pain relief, but honestly, I would get pissed off at people when they say, oh, that's just how my life is. I just need to learn to live with this pain. Or my favorite is my doctor said that pain is normal for your age. And
You're
that
like,
will
WTF,
piss
what does
me
that even
off.
mean?
Yeah. It's like, no, you don't have to live with pain. There are solutions. You just haven't found one yet. And that's why I love to share, I do every Friday, I release a video on my YouTube channel. Either I share a technique or whatever solution or resource where there are different solutions. One of them is going to work for you. Just never stop looking for it.
I love that so much because, like, you're like, no, that is not real. Like, the body experiences pain as a defense mechanism to tell you to pay attention. Like, our bodies are so freaking smart. They were designed to work optimally. They designed
Yeah.
for optimal living. And we did not learn like get the handbook for like how to decipher all the things. But pain is just your body's way of saying like something's not right. We need to pay attention.
Thank you. And sometimes when I have clients, they're like booking appointment and they're like, I'm in so much pain. I'm like, if you can, please do not take any painkiller in the morning before your appointment, because I want you to feel when I touch your body, I want your nervous system not to be numbed and desensitized. I want you to feel it, what I'm doing. And you give me a feedback of what you're feeling instead of taking that painkiller, which numbs everything.
Oh,
So,
so good. Ani, how do we connect with you outside of the show?
so you can see here, Last Stop for Pain. That's my company name, laststopforpain.com, and four is a numeric four. And over there, I have free resources that people can download, like lymphatic drainage, step by step, how to do it yourself. There's a stress relief technique. You can download my 5 body pain hacks, which are, I sent you for 5 days, 2 3 minute short videos of technique for neck pain relief, back pain relief, um, just several different techniques where you can learn and use it right away. They're simple, they're cool, they're funky, but they work.
Oh, so cool. Definitely go check her stuff out. You have been so much fun to talk with. Like, I just love watching your eyes. I could see the
I get
dedication.
passion.
I could see the passion behind the knowledge. Like, it wasn't just like over, sometimes we learn things and we do a thing, right? But like, I could tell how important the conversation was, which I think is
Yeah.
really, really cool. As we're wrapping up today, Ani, is there anything that we didn't talk about that's still left in your heart, or just words of wisdom you want to leave us with today?
I always want to ask the people to just draw that picture in your mind. If you didn't have that body pain, what would you do? Just draw that picture for yourself. Then you know that you have to find a solution to do all that stuff, because life is, oh my God, it's so freaking short. Like, I remember when I was in school, we're thinking, oh my God, year 2000, I'll be 32 years old. I'm 56 and I feel like I'm in my 20s. My body doesn't function in my 20s. But it's just, draw that picture in your mind and never let go of that picture.
I love that so much. There's so much life to be lived, and don't let things like pain get in the way. Like, we can find a solution. That is so cool. Go be a human. Go connect with her. Go check out her resources. Don't be a weirdo in the grocery store who just doesn't make eye contact with anyone. Go be a human. We were meant to connect. We were meant to share life together. And with that, that is Two Humans Talking. I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this episode as inspiring and actionable as I did. If you're ready to stop just surviving and start living a life where your health, your relationships, and your career work together without the burnout, then it's time that you join the Modern Women's Society. Inside, I'll walk you through my life GPS system, a proven blueprint to help you have it all while thriving. You'll gain tools, coaching, and the kind of clarity that brings big dreams to life without the stress, overwhelm, guilt, and shame that the modern woman is used to. We're going to create a life where you feel energized and excited to wake up every day and fulfilled when you put your head on the pillow. Click the link below to learn more and join countless other women who are redefining success on their terms. Because the life you've dreamed about is closer than you think. I'll see you on the inside.